Hello everyone, my name is Nunu. Today we're back with everyone 2018 career mode of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Season 4. Before we get into this video, you have to go subscribe because according to the world best YouTube studio app, only 20% of my viewers are my subscribers. So go hit the fucking subscribe button right now. And also, I have to give a shout out to SSR Cats. He's Danish as well, he's freaking dope, and I made a stupid deal to give him a shout out in one of my videos. So there will be an eye icon thing right there up in the corner, so you can go subscribe to him. But other than that, let's get into qualifying and see how we do.
Welcome to qualifying in the Republic of Azerbaijan. The teams are making their last-minute adjustments before the lights go green, and the fight for pole position can get underway.
Thank you for that introduction, Crofty. Coming into Q1, we're going to go out, as always, around with 7 or 8 minutes remaining for a first and only run. Because if we get this one wrong, if I fail this one, I'll be able to go on to another one. We're coming down the long start finish rate, extremely long start finish rate. We move up to 2nd place. Eventually we drop down to 5th place, but that's still a pretty good qualifying result, and we'll see how we do in Q2 and Q3 because of 5th place is that's good for our car. We have the 5th worst car on the grid. So I wouldn't I wouldn't be sad about us to start 5th in tomorrow's race. But you can see here our Q2 first and final run of the session. Let's see if we can do good in Q2. It doesn't determine the final order, and we move up into 2nd place. And as the session comes to an end, we stay in 2nd place. We could probably even have gotten through on the super soft tires because I am, but because I am more stupid than your mom. I just went on to the softest tire compound. But here we're in Q3, the time to determine our final order. This lap was pretty good in comparison to it's a street circuit, you know. I don't like to push too much whenever it's street circuits because then I just end up making a mistake. And then I just end in the wall anyways. But Q3 run was actually pretty good. You saw that through the cars section. So 1 minute 35.0 up to 2nd place we go. But as we drop down the grid there, we start in 3rd place behind the 2 Force Indias, and it's a Mercedes 3-4 for the race. Great qualifying results, maybe the best of the season. This is gonna be a good race. We're hopefully gonna end in this position as well. Then we'll get a first podium for Mercedes. Of course, it's only the 4th round of the season, so there will still be many chances to get a podium. Yeah, but here we are, Azerbaijan Grand Prix, placed in the capital of Azerbaijan, in Baku, in the middle of it all almost, of course with a famous castle section going up the grid. It's a tight streak circuit, the chances for crashes is pretty big, and we'll see what happens into turn 1 on the first lap. The track, one of the longest on the calendar, just over 6 kilometers, 6 kilometers and 3 meters long. So if it was 3 meters shorter, it would be under 6 kilometers, which is pretty logical. I think you could think about best overtaking opportunities probably into turn 1 down the long straight. You kind of have to compromise your setup between being a low drag and a high drag. Sergio Perez leads the championship with 50 points, winning the 1st and 2nd race and not scoring any points in the 3rd. So we'll see what he can do today. Taking a look at the starting grid, it's a Force India 1-2. So what's a surprise? And me and Bottas line up right behind them in 3rd and 4th place. As I said, great qualifying from our side right there, and we didn't have the glitch because we made it into Q3. But you can see the McLaren just hasn't been on pace here for the start of the season. Maybe it's the drivers. But the pace hasn't been good at all. Our strategy is going to have to be 2-stop because a 1-stop's probably going to be too hard to make it home. But here we are on the grid. It's 26 laps around the Baku city circuit. It's 5 red lights and it's lights out, and we're underway. We get off to a good getaway. We can follow with Esteban Ocon right there. We break to the outside of the first corner. He takes the turn line. We get onto the curb right there. Perez already gone into the lead. We don't manage to get that one. Valtteri Bottas right behind us, covering closely off us right there. Going in for the dive down the inside of turn 2. But eventually we keep that one around the outside. Now he has the slip. You see the Force Indias, they're already gone far ahead out in the lead. We move over to the defensive line very early, so he has to go the long way around, which is the hard one. But that turns into the inside epics of the next one. But eventually we managed to keep our position in the 3rd. Half a lap has gone, no crashes has happened, and that's like the most risky part of it all. Down the long start finish road, Valtteri Bottas right behind us. He's going to have the slipstream down the long straight, as well as Daniel Ricciardo right behind us right there. He's going to move to the outside, but Valtteri Bottas moves to cover him off right there. It's the first lap done. The DRS will be turned on in 1 lap. He's going to go for a dive down the inside, but we're going to be braking as late as we possibly can. He gets past Valtteri Bottas though, and the next straight, now he has the run on us. Now he's going to go for the dive down the inside. Of course, he started a little bit longer down the grid, but he's hit the wall, and he's out of the race. Daniel Ricciardo, no rain, and there's a huge crash. The Ferrari right there of Kimi Räikkönen does the exact same mistake. Right there, there's a humongous crash in turn 3. We thought it was over with the first lap, but you can see the pile-up is massive, and there's so many cars, half of the grid almost, involved in that one. Actually, more than half of the grid. You can see on board we have a massive crash. As always, in BAKU, there will probably be some kind of massive crash. But me and Bottas arrived. Now he's going to go for the dive down the inside of that corner right there. The stupidest corner to go for a dive down the inside. Now we have Charles Leclerc right on the back going for the dive down the inside of this corner. What is wrong with these guys? These guys have just, I don't know, after I've done the flashback to take all of the replays from that crash, I don't know if they just came into like a dive bomb mood, because they dive bombed us within 2 corners, each of them. Now Sainz going to go for the dive down the inside in the Renault right there. He's going to have this DRS down the long straight, but it's kind of time. After a heated start, after a heated first 3 laps of the race, we're going to want to calm down. If this side just wants to go down, no way. We go for an insane dive down the inside, but it's time to calm down. It's time to focus on our own race and not everybody else's race. You can see there in front, Charles Leclerc getting up on Valtteri Bottas right there. Charles Leclerc has been superb in the start of the season. That's how BAKU has been delivering, and he has been delivering so much as well. But here we are. Valtteri Bottas has the run on us. Oh, that's Carlos Sainz. What am I talking about? Valtteri Bottas going out in the lead, and you can see with our Mercedes motor, when we run rich and overtake, we can follow with the ride there. We get the measures, then we have to go in this lap, which is totally right there. We're battling a lot with Carlos Sainz at the moment, which is going to lose us time eventually to Valtteri Bottas, the Finn, out in the lead of the race, and he can do whatever the freak he wants. Coming into the pit, we're going to be going on to the super soft tires. As you saw, the strategy right there was it was an ultra soft, super soft, super soft. So as Jeff says, we have 1 stop remaining on the strategy. We get out just behind Alonso, who hasn't pitted in. He was involved in the crash, so that is just whatever he does right there. So now it's just time to cruise around this. Carlos Sainz now coming out of the pits. We'll have the DRS on him. He comes out of the pits, of course. He's on the same strategies as if just followed up a lap after. And now we have the DRS, and we're going to go for the dive thing. Yes, we are. Turn it up into overtake. We go for the dive, squeeze it tight to the inside, get onto the curb, and we move up into 5th place. I also have to excuse about the back quality. It's only going to be for the first half of the race. I think it's also been for the first half of this video, which I excuse about, but after half of the race, there will be the 720p again quality. But Valtteri Bottas is going to take it into the pits now for his 2nd pit stop of the day. It's lap number 8. Oh wait, this has his first. Yes, I think this is his first pit stop. So it's just been pulling it a long way right there. Sainz going past us with the DRS. Valtteri Bottas has just been eking out the gap on us all the time while we were battling with Carlos Sainz, who we're doing right now. We're going to take the move on the outside of the corner and stay in position right there. Let's not hope that this ends like the real life Red Bull thing, but well, there isn't 41 laps in this race, so that might as well not happen. It could happen that we clash together, both of us are out of the race. That would be extremely sad, and I would go kill myself, but hopefully we can keep it up. We're clean drivers, but the track isn't too clean. We could end up in the wall at any time anyways. We're defending off Carlos Sainz at the moment. He's down. He's right behind us, as I'm talking about. Bottas has been pulling out the gap in front of us. Charles Leclerc's gotten past Bottas. I think Charles Leclerc started inside of the top 10. He's on the same strategy as all of us. So I think, yes, he is on the same strategy as all of us. I think, yeah. Oh my fucking god! What the fuck just happened right there? Alright, it was just my small lamp that fell on the floor. Doesn't really matter, but getting back into the race, lap number 11 out of 26. We're supposed to be pitting in around 3 laps time, but we're still battling it out with Carlos Sainz. Valtteri Bottas getting even more of a gap on us. And guess who's in the lead? Let's just take a look at them. The 2 Force India starting from 1st and 2nd, front row lock out from them. They're still running 1st and 2nd, which shows how good the performance in their car is. Of course, we developed on that one last season. Some nice helicopter shots of us going through the streets of Baku. I love these helicopter shots. They're the best. They're the best of all time. And I absolutely love them. Here we are coming onto the long straight almost, which means Carlos Sainz going to have another go on us. Lap number 11 still. So you can see it's almost every single lap me and Carlos Sainz battling it out too much. We're going to squeeze us down the inside of that corner. That one could have gone horribly wrong. But we eventually ended up surviving. Also, there's a bit of lag right now. I excuse that as well. Here we have Valtteri Bottas going to come into the pit on lap number 14 or 30. Yeah, 14 I think it is. For this, as I said, he's on the same strategy as us, and a lap later we're going to follow up on that one. We have no chance of catching up to him anyway, so he's too far ahead to do that. Like 10 seconds, I think, was the gap at some point. And I think it's just increasing. Carlos Sainz, we got a right behind Carlos Sainz, but he's going to go into the pits as well. Into his pit box, of course. He was right behind us. We were beginning to pull out a little bit of a gap on him, but it wasn't too much of a gap. He was just out of the DRS zone, I think. We're actually going to get up behind Max Verstappen right there. I think he's one of the one-stops outside of the top 10. He was also involved in the crash, so to manage to get back to 5th place is absolutely insane. On board from Carlos Sainz coming out of the pits right behind us right there, going through turn 2 right there. Is that smoke coming out of his car? Yes, it is. That means it's a retirement for Carlos Sainz. Right out of the pits he went, but it's time for a mid-race update. We're running 6th at the moment. Sergio Perez leading over his own teammate Sergio Esteban Ocon. Charles Leclerc managed to get his way up to 3rd in front of Valtteri Bottas, who's running in 4th place at the moment right there. Max Verstappen right behind us in the Red Bull. As I said, it started a long way back, that guy. Let's also take a look at what tires people are on. You can see it hadn't really updated at this point. I don't know why, because I had been in for 2 stops. But you can see right there, Max Verstappen, as I said, he started outside of the top 10 on the super soft tires. Talking about him, here we are going for the move down the inside of turn 3. Some fast maneuvers right there. We don't want to crash with him, don't want to clash with the Red Bull. On lap number 41, unfortunately, there isn't 41 laps, as I've already said once. We're still going side by side with this guy. He's keeping his nose inside of that thing right there, getting onto the curb as well. The car's getting a bit loose. We're managing to pull out a little bit of a gap on him. There's 2 laps remaining at this point, and hopefully we can keep him behind. Down the long straight we go. I'm going to use my materials rider to defend him off. We're also going to want to save some materials, some resources, some ERS and some fuel for the last couple of laps. So maybe next lap if he goes around the outside, but it's time to see. It's a braking duel into the first corner, get onto the curb and squeeze him out so we hold that position right there. You can see we managed to put out a little bit of a gap on it, which is hopefully what what means that we can get home that 5th place. It's a battle for 5th at the moment, which is a nice good bunch of, I think it's 10 points. But here you have your race winner, ladies and gentlemen. Sergio Perez coming over the line to take home 25 points, eking his championship total points to 75 points. But here we are coming out of the final corner, lap number 26 out of 26. This is what determines the final battle for 5th place. If he can manage to overtake us, we will lose it. If not, we will get it. Down the long straight we go. Max Verstappen has the DRS. He has the slipstream. We're going to see if we can break that slipstream by moving over to the side right there. But he's approaching so fast. For 3rd season in a row, it's a drag lane to the finish line. And we get home that 5th place. For 3rd season in a row, we have a drag race to the finish line with a Red Bull here in Azerbaijan. But Sergio Perez, your race winner, ladies and gentlemen, takes home 25 points right in front of his teammate Esteban Ocon, who just haven't been able to perform. Rounding off the podium is young Charles Leclerc, of course. In real life next season, he's going to be driving in the forest. So 4 and 5 for Mercedes. Great stuff right there. We pick up another 22 points for the constructors standings right there. You can see rounding off the top 10. Stoffel Van Dorn coming down from 16th place. In the driver standings, we move up to 7th place. Valtteri Bottas is standing in 5th at the moment, also moves up. So we're kind of outperforming our car at the moment, V and Valtteri Bottas. In the constructor standings, you can see we move up to 3rd place to occupy what is supposedly the best of the rest, even though Force India, Red Bull, Renault is kind of far ahead, and McLaren as well. It's kind of far ahead in the performance. But it's time to negotiate a new contract with Mercedes. We're just gonna run over in the start and then kind of step down on the last 2 proposals. You can see the pit stop thing doesn't really matter to me. And you can see eventually we get that one right. So it's a new contract negotiation. We're also going to rounding off the video with purchasing a new engine upgrade, and that is the last thing that we're going to be doing today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and all shit, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.